Imagine that you're in Paris, but you don't realize you're in Paris. And so you walk up to someone and you say, where's Paris? And they say, oh, head east 26,000 miles and you'll get to Paris. Or you walk up to someone else and you say, oh, I want to go to Paris, how do I get there? And they say, meditate for 10 or 20 years and then you'll get to Paris. Or you go to someone else and you say, well, where's Paris? I really want to go there. And they say, well, if you are a really good person, then you'll be able to get to Paris. Well, we already are who we are, that's the point. And if we're in Paris and we want to know we're in Paris, we want to be talking to someone who will reassure us that we're already in Paris, not try to make us believe that we have to do all kinds of things to get to where we already are. So that's what this is about here. We already are who we are, and all that we are is a wholly positive basic space that is entirely aware. And this awareness that is vast as infinite space is pivotal. That's pivotal. That is what we can rely on about ourselves. We've never had anything that we've been, like a personal identity or a ego or a psychology or anything like that. All those are simply points of view that arise within this wholly positive basic space that is entirely aware. And all those points of view, no matter what they are entirely equal in that they're all awareness. They've never been anything other than awareness. So one thing we can say about any point of view, whatever it is that its origin is awareness. Thus its essence is awareness. And even though it may have a vivid appearance, that appearance has no substance or origin of its own. It has no beingness of its own. It has no nature of its own. Its only essence is awareness. So all points of view, no matter what they are, they're like a mirage. I don't know if anyone here has ever taken hallucinogenics, other than points of view. But when I've not taken hallucinogenics myself, other than points of view. Well, I've heard that there are all kinds of incredible appearances, and they seem so real, they're so vivid, they're so absolutely convincing. So all points of view, no matter what they are no different than any hallucination, illusion, mirage, rainbow in the sky. No matter what these things are, all points of view are like the pure space that is the true essence of an illusion, a mirage, an hallucination. All of these things, no matter what they are, they appear to have many wondrous elements, but if we try to grab onto them, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. All there is this vast expanse of infinite space that is our own awareness. So just imagine again, have the imagining that ends all imagination. Mingle your awareness with the vast expanse of infinite space, and then try to form letters and words out of that pure space. Whatever letters and words that you try to form out of pure space, they're all still pure space. No matter how vivid their appearance may be as a this or that or any word at all in the dictionary, all they are is pure space. So that this basic space that is entirely aware is what our true nature is. We've never been wrapped up in a point of view. So you see, we're already in Paris and enjoying it thoroughly. When we take ourselves to be a point of view, then immediately we are trying to convince ourselves that we have a personal identity. And any life that is an attempt to convince ourselves that we are a personal identity in any way, shape, or form is a life that is filled with alternating pain and suffering. There are peaks of happiness, and whenever we're at that peak of happiness, we think, oh, I'm going to be happy forever. And then all of a sudden the roller coaster dips down, and then back up, and then dips down. And so as long as we take ourselves to have a personal identity that is other than the basic space of pure awareness, as long as we take ourselves to have a personal identity, we have an obsession with a self that doesn't exist. It's like having an obsession with a mirage and over and over and over again trying to prove that it does exist, and all the while it's only pure space. So when we have an obsession with a point of view called a personal identity, then we imagine all kinds of characteristics of that personal identity. And we get all caught up in believing in all those points of view about a personal identity. And they're all based on different characteristics about what that personal identity is, like thoughts, emotional states, memories, accumulation of memories, accumulation of good thoughts, and diminishing of negative thoughts, accumulation of positive emotional states, and diminishing negative emotional states. So we're trying to work with all the elements of a mirage in order to make it into something, when all the while it's nothing but pure space. So to understand ourselves only to be that, only to be a personal identity with all kinds of characteristics is extremely limiting, because no matter who we take ourselves to be, the essence of whatever we take ourselves to be is awareness only. And that awareness is inseparable from points of view, just as the color of our eyes are inseparable from our eyes. So there's no way to separate out the two. When we take ourselves to be only a personal identity, we spend our entire lifetime involved with an obsession with self. And this obsession with self doesn't only exist as something that's non-spiritual, so to speak, running around and not knowing that meditation ever existed or some such state, but it also includes many, many things like meditation. As long as there is this obsessive focus on trying to get the personal identity of a self reshaped or formed in order to know it's already in Paris, then it's a dead end. You know, it's like 26,000 miles that way. Meditate forever to realize who you are, when all the while the only source of who we are is rooted in our awareness. And that awareness is the immediacy of every perception. So it's not separate from perception. There's no awakening or enlightenment that's separate or apart from every perception that arises. So no matter what the perception is, emotional states, thoughts, sensations, memories, whatever it is, our own personal identity, every single one of those perceptions has as its origin awareness. The perception would not be without awareness, and rather than there being the perception and awareness, in other words, an observer observing something, there's only awareness as the perception. So to realize that is very straightforward. It can only be realized by resting naturally, resting freely, naturally, in an entirely uncontrived way as the immediacy of every perception, no matter what it is. The vivid appearance that has no essence or substantiality other than awareness. And as that we come to a complete understanding of who we really are. A complete understanding that does not need to exclude anything. So it's not some kind of dissociation from emotions or thoughts or anything at all. There's no extreme whatsoever adopted, no context or frame of reference adopted. We simply rest as pure space. We rest as the basic space that is the true reality of all phenomena. And as we do so, something incredible unfolds that we realize has always been the case. In other words, we've already been in Paris all the while. But we just never realized that we were there. You know, we hadn't talked to the right person who said, hey, kick back, you're already in Paris. You know, everything's okay, relax, just relax.